Welcome everyone to another Friday night with Collective Enlightenment. I'm your host, El T, along with the rest of my amazing co-hosts in this platform today. We bring you Mr. Gold Banker, Alvin
Peace and
Thomas.
blessings.
That's right. Brother HD, Hush
Yeah,
D.
Hutchin D, aka HD, come to you live from Dayton, Ohio.
So we have three amazing guests in this space today they just specialize, and I couldn't help but share them. I love sharing other people's journeys when they're so huge. And when you've got a dream, because we at P2G, our dreams are for others. And when you come, you can't not attract others that have that going on too. And so I'm excited because we're going to introduce y'all to some of this attraction right now. We have in the beginning, we have Mr. Crypto Kenny, also known as Ken Lockhart, the CEO and founder of Bitcoin Campus. Go ahead and let him know, Mr. Brother.
Yep, Crypto Kenny in the building, representing Bitcoin Campus for women's breast cancer awareness. And I actually, got a women's shirt on as well. It's not a medium. Don't make fun of me. You see, you guys already had jokes. You guys were already preparing jokes. I'm stopping that right now. It's breast cancer awareness. All right?
Yes.
Let's go.
We also have Sister Naja Abdul. Now, y'all going to have to work with me with this last name. And Sister SAFIYYAH Abdul-QAWIYY.
QAWIYY. So imagine a cow rolling down a hill going, wee. So it's QAWIYY.
QAWIYY. I love it. That was cute. I like that too. She said, you know how to let folks know how to pronounce your last name.
Yeah.
That is right. Sister QAWIYY. Well, they're not just sisters, they're mother and daughter. And they are the founders of what is it? Now work with me. All right. Get it so confused. The letter
MSSI.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
MSSI.
Yes, Muslim Sisters of Staten Island, and I love what they do for Staten Island. These are New York people, people. Y'all, these my people, and y'all know where they close to home. And I love it.
Yes.
I know everybody I know don't live around here. Most people know they don't live around here. And so when we get to share some of what New York is doing, other than what you hear in the news, God help us all, it's amazing. And these sisters are going to share with you what they're doing to uplift Staten Island and the people. So today's theme of the show is networking and resources. And that is what I had to get the name from what these people bring. So I'm here for them to bring it. Let's get it popping. Now, we're going to start with Mr. Lockhart because we start with the networking. And that's for everybody, though. The conversation is for everybody. So I do have a few questions. I want to make sure that we bring out what that is, Bitcoin Campus. What is Bitcoin Campus, Ken?
Great question. Bitcoin Campus is a resource/learning center for cryptocurrency influencers or enthusiasts. It's like the Craigslist of cryptocurrency, or like having a library card, just giving people access to the confusing things that's in this universe.
That's right. Now, got a question. Tell me who your average student, because you say campus, I like his education. You know me, I'm back with education. Who is the average student you would see?
A lot of people. There's so many, right? Like Bitcoin Campus, it can work with someone that doesn't know what cryptocurrency is at all, and it could be someone that's already very successful in crypto. Maybe has a movement. Maybe has their own portfolio that's very well, and maybe they need to find a way to leverage themselves to some degree, because leverage is our best friend when it comes to the internet and the things that a lot of social media platforms provide. So it's good to leverage those opportunities so that you're not doing all the work yourself. can get time consuming teaching a lot of people. So the customer for Bitcoin Campus is pretty much anybody that's in crypto.
All right. Now, ladies, then just to let y'all know, if y'all have any questions for Ken, this is for the room. This is open conversation. We are a conversation for the masses. So it's literally a conversation. It's not just interview based. So if anyone also, and y'all know, family, chime in. Got any questions for Ken? What kind of crypto, whatever. What is crypto? Throw it at him. That brother got the answer. He on to answer all them questions. He know that. I told him you're gonna have to work today, bro.
No, you already see I got the bulletproof crypto suit looking
That's
like
right.
A fake 50 cent, you know what I mean?
Right.
As long as it's 50 cent in crypto, I'll take it.
I know.
25 cents.
Is it 20? Who said that, by the way? You know what I mean?
That's here, yeah.
Brother Ken, I got a question for you.
Yes.
On the campus. Now, how do you're coming in, someone's coming into the campus and they, like you said, they have a portfolio. How do you make it, have the platform be of value to a person who's already in the space of crypto?
Good question. Okay, so let's say they have a portfolio of maybe coins, right? A lot of times people in the industry, if they are doing really well, other people around them start, asking them, teach me the game, and what Bitcoin Campus would allow them to do is for, a very small, lifetime membership, you're able to leverage yourself and all of the things, the basic things that you would need to teach somebody about the game, whether it's staking, farming, APY, whatever you would need to, teach someone, you can leverage Bitcoin Campus video library or their community. Well, you guys do a lot of education yourself, so you don't necessarily need to leverage a community. But, from a standpoint of someone with a portfolio, it really just matters what aspect that they're trying to take it. If they wanted to, we can take somebody that is already successful in crypto and maybe show them a different avenue that they weren't aware of. You know what I mean? So there's just so many different ways that we can leverage somebody's time or bring value to the business that they've already developed for themselves.
Thank you very much for that. That's really good. I like that. I like that.
Yes. I appreciate you, sir.
My question was how did you come up with Bitcoin Campus?
Okay, Hutch. Good question. Bitcoin Campus was a God-given gift, I guess, for all of the crazy journey that I had to go through in life. You know what I mean? That didn't make any sense. I'm like, yo, he crashed my car too, God. Like, I gotta be rich one day. You know what I mean? Like this is straight out of a Bad Family Matters episode. You know what I mean? So what happened to me, right? I went through a lot of devastation as an entrepreneur, and I just kept going, and I ended up meeting a gentleman in India, right, who basically had a very large team of programmers, and he was looking for a representation in the United States to help him bring more clients. And we negotiated a deal. I ended up being that guy for them, started bringing money into them. Just because of my background in sales, I was able to get clients and also generate revenue because I had some projects that, that's one of the reasons why I found them to begin with. I have a spades game on Google Play called Big Joker Spades. It's just an animated, spades game with in-app purchasing that I've been, working on for, quite some time before crypto. So I say all of that to really say that I ended up having this company where I had access to all of these, I was really getting apps and websites, comic books, video games for cheap. Something that would cost 10 grand. This is not going to be, this is public, but whatever. I'm not going to go too much about my ROI or my margins, right?
Thank you.
Here nor there. It's not that
Are
show, right?
you gonna make that game an NFT?
Yeah, probably, right? There's too much going on in crypto to even, you know what I mean? But in terms of, all right, so I had that web development company, and the individuals around me started excelling in crypto in their own endeavor. They were already sharp businessmen, and once they got into crypto, they started excelling and finding different things. One of my friends became a millionaire off of Cardano in 2016. That's how I got started. Another friend introduced us to smart contracts and investment platforms and ecosystems overseas, and that happened last year. And another friend showed me, so I'll mention them. One of them is Dexter Sapp, and the other one is Rabu Gary, and the other one is Quentin Bradford. Rabu introduced us to the smart contracts. Quentin was he took the information that we had, and he put it on YouTube and became like a YouTuber, in regards to cryptocurrency platforms.
Yeah.
Right. I took all of that information that I was learning from them last year, because I got involved in some platforms, made some money, started being like, whoa, I could make 2% a day, 1% a day, some good, some bad, whatever the case may be. And I put all of the things that they were doing, I bottled it up into data science, and I made the website Bitcoin Campus to teach the average person how to get that done, and for them to actually have the people and the resources to accomplish those things.
Kudos.
Nice.
I think that's where you and I connected, because one movement will find another, and that's the one thing we recognize.
I saw what you were doing for the kids.
Oh, child.
Yeah.
Kids, we got crypto boomers, crypto kids, crypto, you name it. Crypto, we teach everybody. And the fact of the matter is that, I was glad that you connected, because I'd heard Bitcoin Campus. I wasn't quite sure what it was. But then you reached out, and I was like, oh, okay, well, come on, I'll check it out. And we vet everything in our platform. I come from a background. Let me share with y'all. I come from a background of IT. I also have been exposed to MLM scams, scam coins, scam opportunities, and you begin to see what it is, what's going on, but you also see how exposed that people really are. And for me, that's not acceptable, because when I learn something, everybody's going to know. Everybody's going to have a chance to know how to do better. And that's how we started. We learned that the financial system is not set for the masses. It's actually set for the masters. Those who it's set up for them to be paid out from the masses. So once again, Collective Enlightenment. Hi, this is the conversation we're in. Thank you so much, Ken. And we want to keep that going, because we've joined. P2G has joined with the Bitcoin Campus, and Bitcoin Campus has joined with us in the process of teaching from beginnings to whatever. Self-management is really the goal, because I tell you, there's nothing perfect in this world, and that's what when things go wrong, we need something that come into space, and it's called resources. A lot of people tell me, I'm not into networking. I said, well, are you broke? Because if you're not in the networking, you're probably broke. You probably got a lot of things you need, because you won't talk to somebody.
You got it.
I know it sounds funny, but I'm be honest. I'm that honest with people, because we need each other. You're not going to get by yourself. The one thing I fell in love with cryptocurrency, when I learned what it was that it required collective growth in order for everyone to benefit. That's the difference between the fiat system we live in, the ones we're trained toward, and cryptocurrency. It requires all of us to work together as a collective for any value to come out. So when people work together, I don't care what your difference is. You could be on the other side of the world. You could believe in the hoobie gooby or whatever it is. I don't care. As long as we all got the same coin, guess what? We got all the same plans. We all want to succeed, and we can. So the goal
like the type of money we're gonna make, we ain't gonna be able to spend it anyway. So we working for the next generation.
Exactly.
In all actuality.
And that is and exactly for what is taking place in this generation right now, us coming in the door early, bringing in people like this, these sisters right here. I'm not kidding. I have made it my duty. I love the conversation, by the way, Mr. Sophie, Miss Sophia. I can't help it. You are amazing. You ever meet a beautiful soul? Y'all ever just meet a beautiful soul?
Every now and then.
Like they're related.
Every now and then.
Now and then, exactly.
Yes. Yes. I have been blessed. We had a great conversation. And my goal is to make sure that any questions you may have that you, because you know, we like talking in alien language in some ways. It's okay. If you got any questions, I want you to ask because we will answer. We have a lot of resources that we offer, but we seek resources. Our people in our organizations need resources. I spoke to a young lady today, went to the laundry this morning, and she was telling me how she got scammed by this guy for her OSHA license. They charged her for OSHA license. Ain't OSHA free? The licensing and training for free?
Depends.
Mm-hmm.
It all depends actually. If it's a governmental supplementation program, then no.
Mm-hmm.
But there are organizations and businesses that actually charge you if they do the program. So yes, they can charge you.
Well, she said they gave us a flimsy piece of paper after she finished this, and then she had to chase this guy down for that. She had to actually go to his store, his place of business, and go get it because he kept putting her off on the phone. $475. She was so disturbed. I asked her today, and I told her. She said I hadn't. I said, "Did you go get that?" She said, I was so discarded. I couldn't do it. I said, "Sister," but she said, "But I do want to do it. I want to work in my field." I said, "Then what you're going to do is you just met me. That's God opening another door for you. Because where one closes, another will open as long as you stay committed."
Right.
That's called resource.
And those cards are actually, if you're under a certain financial income, you don't have to pay for them. You could get into different programs that will give you for free. So, yeah.
And I had a feeling. I know a lot of people who are in who work in those government programs. So I've never known anybody to get charged. They put that sign up for free in my buildings on a regular basis. So when I heard her paying, I was like, "You paid what?" You see what information can do, or lack thereof.
Knowledge is power, they say, correct?
That's right. Well, we say knowledge in action is power because we got a lot of people filling up their head ain't doing nothing.
That is true.
You can know a lot until you do something about it. And that's why this is what we do with our networks. We build the networks of not just knowledge, but in action with one another. We motivate and push each other to get, and people go, "Oh Lord, Miss Ruby, you always got me working." I said, "I know." Hush. I was laughing because I keep it working.
Yes, I'm constantly working.
And now this is the beautiful part. That's how Hutch got here. All I did was ask. Okay. All I did was ask. And when you ask a person, they can say yes or no. But I usually ask a person because I see something. I see what you tell me. If you tell me I'm going to have a multi-million-dollar organization, I see it. I see it. I see what you're doing. Now, can you please share what you've been up to for the last 8 years, woman?
Oh, boy.
You've been creating this amazing organization.
The question is, what haven't I been up to?
That was a real introduction. I like that.
I am going to get this picture up here. As soon as we finish starting, I'm going to get that picture up here because I want to show what we did on October 16th. While we were on here, she was out there in the world. Let's hear about it.
Oh, boy. So, I honestly started this organization because I saw certain things in our communities that we weren't addressing some of the women's needs, especially in the Muslim community. There were so many disparities that I saw that, especially some of the women that weren't from America, how they, if their husbands, divorced them or they wind up being single moms, that they wind up not having the resources that they needed to survive. And it was always a struggle. And so, you know, we were initially just coming together as women, you know, learning our faith and doing like a women's group. And then I realized all these other things were happening. Because now, you know, when you're out in your community, you can see things a little more clearer. And so I decided, because I really didn't start it to have a business initially, but as I saw the need and I'm like, how can we support this? I mean, we don't really have much. And I felt really bad when someone wanted something and we didn't even have it as a group to give because we didn't, you know, they told us last minute. And I'm like, you know, where are we going to get the extra help? So I decided to look into starting a nonprofit organization. And because, you know, houses of worship, they have their own management and things that they do, and certain things they might not see to be of any pertinence, right? They're like, you know, that's not what we do. So, and you know, out of frustration, I said, let me start my own stuff, and I'll do my own thing. Only because I know that, you know what, I know and what I see, and working in the health field, because I'm a nurse by profession as well.
Yes.
So I'm able to see a lot of the health.
Thank you so much for your service. I want to say that.
Yes. Thank you. Need to address. And I also, I've taught, you know, nursing also as a professor. So yeah, I was very involved in different aspects of the community. So it was easier for me to, I guess, stick my toe in the water, so to speak. It was a struggle because I had no idea what I was doing. Honestly, I was like, how do you do this? But I'm a researcher, so I did a lot of research, and I worked with whatever little resources I had, and we started the organization. And I really wanted the name to represent the governing body. And so, you know, I coined it Muslim Sisters of Staten Island. You know, I have my brother now on here, but
it's okay. He can be on the team. He doesn't have to be a sister to do that.
You don't have to be a sister, but you got to know how to handle a sister.
Yes.
So
man.
I got my family involved. You know, my husband was very supportive of, you know, the path that I wanted to do. And as my kids got older, especially my daughter, she also was, I'm always bugging her about, because, you know, the younger ones know more of technology, right?
She got her head like
all the time. I'll be like, how do you do this? How do you do that? So she actually started, she researched and did our first website because we didn't have no money for no website developer.
Go ahead, Miss Naja. That's right.
She did an absolutely good job not knowing how to do one for the first time.
Congrats to you. Congrats to you.
Good job. That's
and so, you know, she was going to school for, like, you know, she's going to college and she wanted to do art. And I'm like, girl, you got to get it. You got to do something else on top of that. So she did, you know, so she went to school and and now she got her master's in creative art therapy. And I'm very proud of her. Yes. And she used her art skills to develop one of our successful programs called Geek Out. Initially, it was Geek Out at Snug Harbor. Now it's Go See Con, so it's Geek Out at Staten Island. So I was telling them about how proud I am about you, and you know, this is your third year, and we got people from all over that comes to your event. I know your voice is a little shabby right now, but if you have a few seconds you want to share, you know, with that, and then I can continue.
Please.
Thank you. I'm not calling her mom, I'm calling her Sophia because we're like businessy right now.
Yeah, she does that all the time. She's like, Sophia. I'm like, what?
Yeah, it's only when it comes down to the stuff. Other than that, she's like, Mom. Yeah, excuse my voice, but yeah. So I did start off with doing a lot of stuff for like the website because I was a little bit more like tech savvy than my mom, which is not really her fault. It just comes with the times. Like I developed like our first Facebook. I'm in charge of like our Instagram, our Twitter. I'm the one that did the stuff for StreamYard, so I'm very familiar with StreamYard and like Twitch and all those good things. But yeah, a lot, just before I even get to talking about the convention, she always forgets this part because we do so much things. She forgets all the major stuff that we do. So firstly, we're the only Black Muslim organization on Staten Island. There is no other one. So that's the first one. Secondly, we're the first Black women-led Muslim organization on Staten Island, whose board is
Wow.
mostly made of women. So she forgets these things. It's
These are
because for her,
important
again, like
things.
she said, she didn't do it for the accolades. She did it for the community. And
I
that's why we
know.
have the slogan being the community is our priority because of her, right? So I want to give, kudos to her for that.
Yes.
We also
Yes.
started like our own sister swim program. So having like a swimming program for women and girls.
Yes.
We also started having what's called a Muslima ball, which is like, I guess, our version of prom. So for people who can't afford to go to prom, or we don't really do prom as a thing, like religiously, we gave a space for women to be empowered. So each year we have a different theme. One year we had Uniquely You to kind of embrace different women and girls, like uniqueness within themselves so they could be proud of themselves as a person. We also have what's called It's Taboo, Let's Talk, which is something we've had for the last 2 years. So it's different
Oh, wow.
conversations within the
Yes.
community that are considered like taboo. So like substance abuse, mental health awareness, sex abuse, diabetes, breast cancer, prostate cancer, and intimacy, right? All these
Right.
different
Affect the
things that would be
community.
considered as like taboo topics, not just within the Muslim community, but outside of the Muslim community. So we really try to challenge ourselves with different things that the community needs that sometimes aren't necessarily always being provided by our religious establishments, that they might feel a little bit more like scared to do, even though it's just as important
Right.
to the community to be talked about.
Very
So
much so.
yeah.
So it sounds like you all are an amazing, a kind of an additive to your community, to the Muslim community.
Yes.
Much of what, and I can only say kudos to you ladies for really doing the work. A lot of this is what, because I'm Christian, and the fact is we're trying to see why they're not doing this in most Christian churches out here. I'm like, you guys supposed to do that in the church. That's what's supposed to take place in the church as part of the church makeup. And y'all aren't even doing outside of the church. And unfortunately I've had to do the same thing in my community. Before my grandmother passed, we had to push in, and that's what we would do. We would do events and create things for the community, because it's almost like the church had no clue what the community was. And it's all, and you're, like you said, it's nothing wrong, it's just that it's not built into possibly their business or their model or their module. And
sometimes I think
oh
that
my goodness,
sometimes I
say
think
enough.
they're just not equipped to address some of the issues. And so because they're not really thinking if it's a priority to the community,
Right.
they're like, I'm not going to touch it because I don't even know how to approach it. They are maybe apprehensive as to what kind of response that they would get from the community. But in actuality, their congregation or their Jamaat is looking for that support within their structure that they go. And so they're clueless. They're clueless as to what their needs are, because it's not just spiritual needs that your community centers and your house of worship should give you. It is so much more. So, that's why people go hang out, and that's their social space. But if you don't have that connection, you just go worship and be out, and so you don't develop that community appreciation as well as bond, and I think that's what we're lacking in a lot of spaces these days.
You feel like you should have that in your spiritual spaces. And I get that that's a little different. There is a different agenda, because they tend to be more toward the how does this apply to what our direct agenda is. And it is to be spiritual leadership and deal from the word in the book, and at the same time be able to deal on a I guess a more common today basis as the world is changing, because the people's problems will be that they say there's really nothing that changes. Actually, it's just that the problems that they change, they do somewhat shift in a different way. So we may have to go about dealing different than what we used to. Because before, I remember, I could tell you, I was a child of the speak when spoken to. You speak when you're spoken to. Thank God my mother caught on, because she was worried her kids wasn't talking to her. That was more enforced when she was a child. She started out, Okay, speak when spoken to, and then she started realizing teenagers, hold up, I need them to talk to me. I need them to tell on themselves. You you need them to, come on, feel comfortable, talk to mom. And it is true. It's true. When you teach your children only speak when spoken to, you take away that creativity, the questions, the whys, the what's going on, the ability for them to evolve in thinking and developing their thought process toward how the world works. And
I tell you,
me,
2 years ago,
I
I
think
think
we
a
all
year,
do.
we had this conversation. We had a community conversation about my faith and my mental health. And so we had, introduced, we had a whole different panel of different faiths. So we had a Hindu young lady from the Hindu population. We had a rabbi. We had a imam. We had someone from the church. So we had these conversations, and they realized a lot of similarities in terms of what their congregation's going through. But we talked about it, and it was really an uplifting. Actually, I'm planning on doing another one sometime this year coming up, maybe
You
January.
let me know. I would love to attend.
I have one question. I know I was looking through you guys' website, and I was really impressed by it. It's very upfront. Everything's right, pretty much on the front page for everything. I noticed you have, and you were talking about mental health. Is mental health a really big concern within the group itself, or is it just more of the community needing an outlet for mental health to be addressed because it's one of those unspoken topics?
It's both.
I can speak on that one actually.
Yes.
So it's both, I would say, because it has become a major component of the things that we do within our organization, as well as it being a really needed conversation and resources for our community, because we just did an event called Day of Dignity through an organization called Islamic Relief, and a lot of the resources that were there were for mental health, right? Were for therapy, were for counseling, were for those types of things, because especially throughout the pandemic, a lot of people did realize that their overall mental health was not as stable as they thought it was prior to the pandemic, prior to being home all day, prior to losing their jobs or getting sick or losing loved ones, right? How important mental health is on top of your physical health, right? And I know I'm biased because I went to school for therapy, but
but you're very clear. I'm right with you. Go ahead.
So it has been a multiple conversation that we have in almost everything, like even when it comes down to like cultural competency, right? How being culturally aware or unaware can affect somebody's mental health, how people are treated within the healthcare system based off of people's biases, based off, people's bigotry or people being racist or, prejudice, right? All those things can affect a person's mental health. So in a lot of ways, we have had that conversation almost unintentionally because of how intertwined it is in other aspects of like the lives of those who are in our community.
Wow. Thank you very much for that. I really good know.
I totally agree with you.
I grew up with a lot of Muslim friends, and one of the biggest things they said, you're not allowed to speak about how you feel or how you're dealing with the situations that are being addressed, whether within the family or in the sect itself. And I'm like, I always found that really weird. How do you repair something if you can't speak about it openly and not be
it's
chastised for it, for lack of a better term?
A lot of it's cultural. It's a lot of it's cultural. I mean, I actually was brought up in the Caribbean, right? I know I don't sound like it, but I'm from Jamaica. I am from the island of Jamaica, man. However, we were brought up similarly that you don't put your business out in the street.
Yes.
Don't tell nobody your stuff. And those are the things when people are being abused or ill-treated, they feel like they don't have an outlet and a space to get healed, right? Or to let someone know, hey, someone's hurting me. Even with domestic violence, it's another big topic that we do address, and we do have workshops and stuff like that because it cuts across religious, color, creed, socioeconomical statuses. So, just because someone looks they're together, they might be broken inside. And they don't have that outlet to express themselves or to let someone know, I need some help. So we have a lot of broken people walking around.
True. Very true.
So it's a facade with a lot of people. You're like, man, I didn't know she was going through that. Wow. But she don't look it.
How do you go deeper?
Absolutely. So we do try to, work with the mayor's office for domestic, for gender-based violence and different community partners, just to let people know when we have our events, we'll have some resources for people, even if they just pass by the table and get it. You know what I'm saying? Those are some of the things that we try to make our business to at least put out those resources for people. So if they don't have the access on social media, they may be able to get something from when they come to our events.
Sister Sophia, I appreciate it.
One more question, and I was just taken by this.
I'm gonna let him do it.
I believe it's 2019. You had an event for something called the Little Tea Party. I thought that was the most adorable thing in the world. I thought that was the most adorable little thing I saw. Could you explain? Is that something y'all do regularly? Because I thought that was really cute.
Yes. Sorry, I got excited. So
I'm trying to rest your throat, my dear. It's a mommy and me, Little Missy T, and we started that because we found that a lot of the moms had younger girls and they can't really go to the big ball, so we created the Little Missy T. And then one of our board members like, well, sometimes we want to have something for the boys too. I'm like, you know what? Why don't we call it Little Missy T and Brothers Chill? Actually, I think it was my husband and someone else had the idea of the name. So what we do is we have a tea party for the girls on one floor, and we actually use a school setting. We have a couple of school partners. So one area they have the guys chilling and doing guy things, and the girls in another. And we come as a family. So the mother could go have her sip of tea and party with the girls, and the guys could go play ball and whatever guys do. And at the end we go home, and that's it. We unfortunately we didn't have it last year because of the pandemic, but it is our intention to do it now that our venues are being opened and things are getting a little bit better. So we're looking to do it sometime maybe February next year. We'll see what happens.
That's my birthday month. Y'all got to call us, sister. I got little people.
I was scrolling because I wanted to have some really good questions for you. So I really wanted to know what your organization was about. And those two things, the mental health was a really strong pull for me because I've worked in mental health for over a lot of years. Let's say that. The fact that I saw the little kids and I saw the little tea. I have young nieces, and I know my wife had put together a tea party where they did the hats and everything. And I was like, phenomenal. I thought that was just really, and I think it's actually very necessary because little girls need to know what it is to be a little girl, and
absolutely.
And it maybe just a little bit step up a little bit, so what the moms do at that conversation. That's like a real.
We got some quiet babies in the room. Hi. How you doing? Not pick on everybody. You got to all talk.
I'm just listening.
Do you have any questions? Yeah.
It's good to hear. That there's women out there doing, putting together these types of programs for other young, I would hate to say African American or Black girls, or people that are dealing with mental health issues, because the Black community hasn't really gotten the chance to really say that we need mental health, awareness or support. In the white community, that was like something that they just did. Like you would even see movies like Rich White Woman, like, I was with my psychiatrist and she said this, and this, and this. And it's like, those psychiatrist sessions probably be like $1,000 a session or $500 an hour, and they throw it around because, the money's thrown around. And the psychology is that, when you watch a movie like that, you just, you kind of like laugh and just say, okay, whatever. she's a little unstable, successful woman, you know, venting, right? But, you know, we see Black people, you know, have problems communicating, have problems overcoming things of the past, have problems, you know, with abuse, whether, you know, verbal abuse or sexual abuse, you know, so that's been, you know, rampant. Then you have, you know, the police, you know, thinking that they're like the lions of the jungle when they're the sheep of the jungle. You know, it's just like it's almost like, you know, Lion King, like Scar actually just, you know, really took over. You know what I'm saying? You got hyenas running around like, you know, like just ready to like just preying on lions. Like, hey, there's a lion right there. Pull over, guys. Like, hey,
that's a good analogy, Ken. Whether you realize it, that's an excellent analogy.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's, you know, that's kind of like what the world, you know, what we've seen happen in the world, you know, from a Black person's viewpoint, right? So for these women to have created that type of community and that type of system programs for awareness and communion is something that I wanted to just sit back and listen to.
Thank you.
Would you and Ken, thank you for that. I saw you in the bottom. You were talking. I saw you there, just kind of your responses. I was like, let that brother talk. He definitely got something.
He's rocking on the chair. He's like, let me talk.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that, you know, you're in the space, you with the conversation. And this is a brother who does a lot for a lot of people. He actually does, you know, I'm gonna let you know he's very aggressive, very clear about his plan. No, I'm serious. And it's hard to find people that are that way, who have a belief in what they want and will stick and stay and do what they have no matter what comes up. And I've seen the onlines, but I was like, let me go call this man.
Oh, not all of them, right? Not the Facebook lives. You seen those too?
I watch your lives occasionally. They just pop up all over the place.
Okay, yeah.
But
Don't
the fact
watch
of the
those.
matter is when you see people who are dedicated to the care of others.
Yes.
It's time, and this is the thing. P2G is built on that premise that we are dedicated to the care of others and to go forward with that, to perpetuate it in a way whereas we continue to have people care for people. When people come to P2G, it's not just come for yourself and go. You people do it all the time. They come, they get what they got, and they go. A good portion of our people come in and they decide they want to teach. They decide they want to turn around and do what we do. Because the premise of P2G is to teach teachers to teach teachers. We have been taught to be students so long in our lives that we never really master the processes that we're taught. And the only way to master it is if you teach it. When you turn around and you go from what you learn to now putting in practice, teaching someone else and teaching them to do the same. Because no one person is going to make anything big happen alone. That is where the network is required. That is where resources are required. Ladies, I so am glad we found you. I'm here in New York, just to let y'all know I'm in Harlem. And I have no problem getting on the ferry or going across that expensive behind bridge.
We can pick you up from the ferry, no worries.
But it's okay. And the fact
hop, skip, and a jump from the ferry.
And the funny thing is that just to let y'all know, I used to take my babies, all the kids. I'll tell you right now, I'm Auntie Ruby or Auntie Ruby with a W. And they've always, they always know since they were little, I've taken them and traveled, and that Staten Island ferry has been our favorite. If you have a boat, a ferry, or what have you in your city or in your town, take it. There's one close by. Take your children, take yourself over the water. It is something about water that is so peaceful and that connects you so much to just, it's like it'll help drown out the rest of the world as long as you're not in it. Okay, making sure you're not in it.
That's good.
And it allows you to clear your head and take a moment. That little 30-minute ride did work wonders to where we would do that as a way of just getting out. I did not know so much was going on Staten Island. I ain't gonna lie. Look, this is a little island. Actually, we're the little island. They're the island attached to another.
The island set apart is what they used to call it. Yeah.
And it
One
is
of the
wonderful
five.
to see that in small places that this positivity is going on.
Yes,
You know,
very much so.
the Muslim sisters are coming together and they're saying, you know, the church may not do it, but we can. And there's nothing wrong with the church. We can add this on. We can make it a
Absolutely.
part of. And that's why we, you know, this is why I was so motivated for this particular talk on this day, because I was trying to go, am I going to push Ken back, or am I going to have the ladies go to next week and have one? Or I was like, no, wait a minute, it's perfect. It's perfect. God always brings everything to the equilibrium. Always.
Absolutely.
Nature comes to equilibrium.
Well, I mean, another thing you're gonna, I mean, Ruby, is as you start doing this crypto thing, you're gonna start realizing you need to leverage yourself. They ain't no rebooking. It's not. We doing both of them. No. Ain't next week is already booked up. You know what I mean? We're gonna talk about ice cream and hot dogs today. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Thank you.
But
But
you know,
see,
the
that's
kid to
thing.
eat.
We're
You know what I mean?
be honest, I realized when we were thinking of the show name, I said it's all resources, though. It's all networking.
Yep.
Just
Very
talking
much
to
so.
Sister Sophia. Sister Sophia, you made me realize that there are people in the world that have great things going on that cryptocurrency can literally pull you out of ever needing.
Girl, please stop.
I'm not kidding. I remind people, when you learn the basis of finance, especially when you can just make it, because you learn this, you can then make it happen over and over and over again.
Yep.
The proper resources can change your positioning. And we need our community to hear that and see that.
Absolutely.
I cannot tell you right now, the finances that we have created in smart contracts, NFT gaming, what do you call it?
Staking.
I know, say it again.
Yield farming.
Yield farming.
There's so much more.
What we had, and let me share something with you. We are not wealthy people. We didn't start out wealthy people. I'm gonna share something with y'all. I started all this financial stuff on services. I had no job at the time. I worked my own business. So I was working all day long just to keep pushing money into a business that was eating itself alive. Okay. But it was my dream. So, you know, my husband worked, and, you know, at the time he covered a lot of stuff, but we still needed that second income. And I was deciding to get my act together. Started saving money. I really said I didn't own anything at 40. How do you not own anything at 40? I'm almost a half a century in, and I don't have anything in my name. And that's sad because I'm not alone. I'm not uncommon, and that's disturbing. So for me, like I said, when I find that the world has a problem, something tells me in my crazy head that I gotta answer. As soon as I find the answer, I'm gonna go tell somebody. We're gonna tell 2 more people. And then we're going to keep telling people till we come up that this is not common anymore. So when I found out that the system of finance in America was set up so that the rich gets richer and the poor get poorer, and there's a mathematical equation for that, I said, oh, there's math to it. So if there's math to it, all we had to do is apply the mathematical algorithm that would put us in place of equalizing. But most people don't think that way, because we're struggling, trying to make it happen, trying to pay these bills, trying to get these things that keep oh my God, these things that keep happening. Car breakdown, house get on fire, baby boy go to jail.
House get on fire, bro.
I'm just saying.
It happens. What do you mean?
And we're not prepared. It blows us away.
Yeah, it happens.
Corona.
Hello.
Who in God's name could have ever imagined 2020 would happen? And who was prepared? That's the biggest issue. That was my heart. That was the thing that made me cry. All those people had passed away. I said, okay, God, I give you whatever it has to be. But the ones that are living was my concern. The ones that still had a need and didn't know what to do, they had to do. Then the government started giving them money. And I'm like, oh God, that's a bad habit. That's a bad habit. They teaching our people that beg. What's going on? They teaching our people to be dependent when the financial terrain was that you could free yourself from ever needing another thing.
The education is not what they don't promote the education, because the education would balance the playing field. They only promote the gift of handing handouts.
So that's
so they can perpetuate the system.
But of course,
we decided we were going to leave the system and share with those who would listen. We are not, I'm telling you right now, I have a friend of mine that's really adamant about saving the world. But myself, I have decided to take on exactly what my Savior has taken on. He will only save those who are willing to save themselves. You can teach a man to fish, but you can't make them. And you darn sure can't make them eat. So those who are willing to learn something new with finances will discover the same things. I mean, you can't describe a miracle. I'm sorry. You can't. I don't care how much you try. You cannot describe a miracle that you could recreate. It's like, did I really do that? Was that me? It will change your position altogether. That's why I said, Sister Safiyyah, I got you. And I mean that seriously from the bottom of my heart. Anybody who knows me, when I say that, what does that mean? Anybody
you about to go to work.
And this is my friend online. Okay,
you about to go to work.
My friend online. I'm sorry, baby girl.
That's true.
Naja had to go. She has to leave. Okay, good. God bless you.
Yeah, she's recovering.
We want her to recover, please. That girl got a lot of spirit in her. I like it.
Yeah, she's usually a lot more energetic, you know. And she's just
I can understand that. She explained everything. I was like, oh my Lord. She's like,
she looked like she's a little under the weather today. It's all right.
Yeah, this weather just messes you up, you know, bronchitis and all kinds of good stuff. Yeah.
We're gonna get some good healthy healing in there. That's right.
Yeah, she got my friend is her landlord, so she's taking care of her for me.
That's good. Oh, yeah. God bless her, honey. And that's what we need. You know, I hate to say it, but we need our communities. We need our communities to remember that they need each other. No different than, that's why I said, wow, we have the world, we have resources here, we have financial resources, which are first come is education. I don't care what you tell me, I got $1,000. What you gonna do? I'm gonna tell you, say thank you and take your money, because God knows I ain't never do nothing.
If you know that $1,000 will go in 2 seconds if you bought something.
Exactly. But see, the whole thing is if you give me $2,000 of your money and you don't ask me to do anything specific, or you don't ask to learn how to do something, basically I'm taking that as a gift. Bottom line, you put your money in my hand and you say what you can do with that, I can put it away. Because, sweetheart, I've taken the time to learn to create miracles, and it will take the same for everybody. You just got to give yourself time for one. And everybody, you know, we let things or situations and circumstances hurry us, take away from and steal our glory. But you took time to go, okay, I want these things, I need these things. Let's try this one thing. You took time to learn how and did the research to learn how to put together a nonprofit. That ain't easy.
No, it's still a struggle, girl. Because for 8 years we have no base of operations. We work out of different spaces. Good. And it's just by the grace of God that we're, I mean, this whole pandemic.
I'm going to ask you, is how effective is that? If you were sitting still, and most people don't think of the blessing they have. If you were sitting still, could you have the kind of turnout that you had before?
Oh, no. I mean, I could even see the growth that we've had from the time we started to just even getting that community buy-in. Because a lot of times when you're a new kid on the block, they be like, I don't know what you got for me.
We don't know you like that.
Yeah.
We don't know you like that.
So you got to have that community trust. I'm a firm believer in developing relationships with people before I, for a lack of better word, jump into bed with them. I think it's very important. Developing a relationship, talk to them, get to know them, what their, their intentions are. Because I mean, too many times, as we all probably have experience with people, is that, they come in with some crazy intentions and you thought you were on the same page. And when you realize later on, you'd be like, oh, you're not. So it's important. And that's why people who know me, they will point me in directions of people that they know are positive personalities, and of those who are not, will be an asset to me as well as myself to them. And I say myself because everyone says my company is me. However, that's not necessarily true. Although I eat, sleep, and drink it, that my 17-year-old would tell me. Basically, she's like, you're always doing something, because I have my full-time job as a nurse, and then I have my full-time job as the executive director and founder of the organization.
That's right.
When I get paid and when I don't, not really. But you know what? I truly
we're gonna work on that because you need to fundraise.
Girl, you don't even know how much I need to fundraise. But then that's the thing. How are you fundraising in a pandemic? What's the proper route to take? You know,
we got some options.
I'm sorry, wait.
So we got some options
to the right people. This room right here is the answer to that, which is why I realized God put you all in the same place at the same time for a reason.
Everything I believe everything happens for a reason. Absolutely.
Now, this is the thing. We have a young lady that's in the audience that tends to. She just got through doing Fundraising Freedom Friday just before this segment, and she does it every Friday.
Wow.
She works with nonprofits to teach them how to literally fundraise from the blockchain. The wonderful part about crypto and the blockchain is that fundraising is no longer a give to. It is now a give to, give back. When you give in a fundraiser for cryptocurrency, the person that is giving automatically puts themselves back, in many cases, in a position to receive. Whether they're purchasing a NFT, whether they're a part of a smart contract, whether they are a part of a gaming platform, whereas the organization is the lead account. These processes always have referral processes connected to them, and this is instant. This is what we love. When we teach the community cryptocurrency, we don't teach them to be focused on themselves. We teach them to share forward so they can pay themselves.
Yep.
You literally
sounds like a plan
forward by every person you share with. And I'm like, they're like, if you go on Bitcoin Campus, we'll get you a link, not a problem. You're going to find a gaggle of them. Like I said, a gaggle of them. So P2G teaches basic cryptocurrency and the use of crypto. Bitcoin Campus has a lot of different programs that you can get involved in that moves those processes. So this is why I was like, it took a while. So when you said that whole jumping, literally before you jump into bed, Ken, I know Ken started smiling. I was like, brother, I need to vet you. And I got 3 people I need you to see.
Yeah,
okay.
I know.
And it was like, nope. Because we done been through, and I got a whole group of people we got to make sure we protect and make sure they in the right direction beforehand. You better be
dot the I, cross the T, research.
Yes.
You got to, especially in our industry of crypto, you have to do the quick shakedown.
Right.
I'm telling you, in crypto, it's one of those things. You just got to be like, wait, who are you? Who sent you? Why'd they send you? Let me go make sure you are who you say you are. And then
have you ever heard of Bitcoin mining and all this stuff? And bird and
no,
it amazes me.
The best one I've heard this week was did you hear about the FEMA grant we giving away and they giving Bitcoin back?
Stop. Oh Lord, stop.
No, but it amazes me how people would just go out of their way to be so, lack of a better word, evil. Like, why would you do that? Like, you take a lot of energy to be a scammer. It really does.
Not in crypto.
It really does.
No,
it really doesn't. This is why. Let me just share something with you. It's easier to scam people than to educate them.
Yep.
That is true.
And I say this again and again. I would rather you take your time, because crypto isn't about instant gratification. It's a building process for your long-term growth. Okay. You're going to make money for so long. You're going to be like, oh my God. Things are going to come up in your account that you'll be like, did it really do that? Oh my goodness. But you know why? It is not something that's just going to happen to you. Because trust me, if you put money into something you have no clue, 9 times out of 10 it'll be the opposite. You're either gonna lose it or it's just gonna go down, 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 and you won't know why. So we've made it, P2G has made it a point of educating people. We've been doing this for the last 2.5 years. And I just, I love it. When, like I said, all I need to do is get scammed once and realize that the whole financial system was a scam. The governmental financial system was a scam. Once I got that down, that was it. I decided to learn the system, figure out an alternative, create a program, because I needed to learn it. So whatever I taught myself, I shared it with other people in a workshop. I offered other people to join me and do this math and do this counting. We're going to learn how to count this math. How does this thing grow? We use penny math. We're not playing games. We literally break it down, because if you don't understand what's in your bank account, you don't understand what's in your wallet.
Nope.
And you control the wallet. You control. For the first time, you have total control, and people are afraid of that because we've been taught to, give your money to us. You need us. You need us to manage those processes for you. The blockchain took all of that need us out. All I need is your wallet address so I can send what I need to send to you, so you can send me my products and goods, and we are done deal.
Sounds
no
like
third party involved.
Nope.
We are teaching asset management and acquisition.
Be your own bank.
Yes. And we even have I love it. So we're also apparently teaching, and Miss Chocolate Gold Bay, thank you so much for offering this. This young lady does taxes, and she's teaching people how to manage their crypto taxes. Now, she's not doing it for you. She's teaching you to. Because what's out there? The information. Scammers. Well, no, there's scammers out there, but the information is out there, so you don't have to get scammed. Bitcoin Campus and P2G, we like to put things in order so people won't see this as that big what do they call it? Collage. They don't make crypto into a collage like this and that and that and that and that. It's like, okay, calm down. Let's get started with step 1. You need a wallet.
But they confuse you so you can be,
so you can lean back to what they call the centralized money system. They want you back.
In other words, they rich and you broke. That's what that really means.
They need to control your money for you because you don't know what you're doing.
You're not responsible.
So look,
let's not go down that road, because that's going to start a whole nother conversation.
We're here to share with you that 3rd grade math will change your life.
Absolutely.
Now, tonight, I want to just let everybody know to please share your resources. Let them know where you're to be found. Hello, Jackson, buddy. That's my baby. I got a lot of babies. Hi. Hello, darling.
Prince Jackson in the building.
Share where we're at. Brother Crypto Kenny, can you hook them up?
I am right now Daytona Beach, Florida, by ways of the BX.
NY in the house. Okay, all right.
That's right. Now, got a question.
Yes.
Bitcoin Campus, that's everything, right?
Everything.
BitcoinCampus.org. If you want a link, get it from me. Gotcha.
Definitely.
I'm definitely interested in understanding the whole concept of
you must join. So now you're going to join P2G, and we're going to get you some access to Bitcoin Campus. And that way you'll have a complete live as well as digital platforms for learning crypto. So we basically make it fully available. The goal has always been to teach people where they're at.
And it'll be important for you to get involved as well, because what you're trying to practice to the young community, whether you're your people or the younger Black girls to women, is community. You're practicing community, creating community, which is what cryptocurrency is. It's peer-to-peer engagement. It's taking the organization of people and giving them power. So once you understand that mechanism around its own philosophy, you'll realize it goes hand in hand with what you're doing.
With what you're doing, that's right. I want to make sure, Miss Sophia, Sophia, can you please share with them where they can find you? We're getting ready to come off because we have to go teach that class tonight.
I'll put my email in there.
Okay, you have an email in. So
I'm putting it in right now.
All righty. So can I share that out public if you don't mind? Oh, I got your website. There you go.
Yeah, you got my website.
I am going to share this to our group. Anyone here who's, and want to thank everybody who's watching from YouTube, Facebook, as well as Twitch today. We just, we like to spend time with people who have things going on that can help enhance your life, because we are collective enlightenment. We need this. We need to enlighten each other to what is available and how to access one another, because that's where the power is. And as Dr. Bay always says, power is the people, not power to the people, but power
is the people.
That's
Absolutely.
right. Mr.
Absolutely.
Thomas, go ahead. What you up to tomorrow?
Oh, well, tomorrow is Saturday morning trading. Come on, we're going to be trading live. You will learn Forex, you will learn binary, and you will learn how to come in and out of trade and maintain your profit through a management system. So that's Saturday morning at 10 o'clock in the morning.
That sounds kind of high tech.
No, that's very basic.
Not that. I'm the Texas family, and trust me, trading is not my thing, or I should say, normally not my thing. I got it's like 5 rules, and I got it down. I'll be winning my trade.
All right.
5 rules. There are only 5 rules in trading.
And Hutch D, where you at?
Hey y'all, it's your man Hutch D, aka HD, coming to you live from Dayton, Ohio. The one founding member of the Bankers Club.
That's our boys. You're gonna catch him on Wednesday on Rapping Crypto.
Yes, indeed.
Rapping Crypto.
Expose that top 10 top coins. That's what's up.
Yeah.
Don't forget, out season. And for those who understand, out season has not ended. So get to work, Bill. Position yourself. Let's get it popping. We love you much. Thank you so much for joining us for this week. And we will be back, okay, every Friday at 7:30 with Collective Enlightenment.